For the first 35 years of my life, I was a member of the Jewell Dominion Church of the Living God. My parents, they met there in 1950, and they eventually married in 1955, and they have 7 children to that union. My father, Curtis Grace, he's from Evergreen, Alabama. Evergreen, Alabama is actually 40 miles from Greenville, Alabama. And Greenville, Alabama is where Mother Tate founded the Church of the Living God in 1903. So Greenville, Alabama is where the Grace clan is from. My dad, he's one of 15 children, 10 boys and 5 girls. And so he made the migration from the south to the north to escape the pressure of the racism and the police brutality and the lynchings and those things that were going on in the lives of black people back in that day. So in 1950 he migrated here, and he joined the Church of the Living God. And so this is where he met my mother, Loretta Brownlee. Now, my mother is from Mississippi, a place called Calhoun City, Mississippi, and her people, they were members of the Church of the Living God, Jewell Dominion, down there. And they migrated up here for a better life as well, and they joined, they fellowshiped, attached themselves to the Church of the Living God here in Toledo in the 1940s. My father and my mother, they met in 1950, and my father went to the military. He came back home from the military, they married. And my father was a Sunday school teacher, and my mother was a musician. She was a piano player. And this is probably where we get some of our musical inclinations from. And deep thinking. Dad was always a deep thinker. But later on, in 1960, I was born. September 28, 1960, and around 66, 67, somewhere in there, my parents, they divorced. And around that time, my grandmother, Ella Mae Dupree, she was sent out to pastor a church on the outskirts of town. We called the church State Line. It was actually on the state line of Michigan and Ohio. And she was sent out to pastor a Church of the Living God there. And so my mother went with her, and she took all of us with her. This is how we got there. So the State Line is actually the church that we cut our teeth. My sisters and I, we cut our teeth on this string instrument music there, learned how to play it there. Around the age of 12, I started playing the steel guitar, Hawaiian guitar is what we called it back then. Around the age of 12, I was inspired by several musicians, but one especially was Henry Wayne White out of Detroit. He was a phenomenal steel player, and I just felt a connection with him, you know. And later on, James W. Golden, he would come around the Toledo area a lot. But we got more exposure to Wayne White because he married one of the ladies out of Toledo, Sister Drusilla, and he would be back and forth between Detroit and Toledo all the time. And so we got a chance to hear him play a lot. And God rest his soul. I loved the way he played, and I tried to mimic after him. And there were several other steel guitar players in the Toledo area that inspired me.